Alright, today we're going to do Chapter 22, Equal Groups, and how it has to do with fractions. This is the second time I've had to make this video today. I made it in the wrong format, and so Mr. Mazan is having to do his work a second time, but that's okay. I like teaching, I like making videos, so hopefully you enjoy this video. Equal groups. We're going to talk about a couple things. What does the word whole mean? That means everything within a defined group. So if I say the whole pizza, that could be an entire pizza that you order from Costco. Okay. Now if I say the whole store of Costco, that would entail a lot more than just a pizza. The whole is everything from toilet paper to paper towels to chips, everything in Costco. Okay, so when you're defining the whole, that's important to understand. Our whole class has 29, 31 people in it, depending on the day. So that defines our whole class. But our whole school has closer to 800 people in it. So keep in mind your concept of the whole. And the other thing you need to know about for today's lesson is fractions and how fractions convert to fractions, decimals, and percents. Hopefully by now you guys have played the fraction, decimal, percent, oh my game. So this will be pretty straightforward for you. So let me put this up. Alright, here's some common fractions that you guys should memorize. There are more common fractions that we'll go over later, but for today I'm just going to do this also the sake of space since I'm at home and I have a small whiteboard. 1/2, 50%, 0.50. 1/4, 25%, 0.25. 3/4, 75%, 0.75. So on and so forth. You probably don't need me to read them to you, but if you want to study them, just pause the video and then go ahead and look through all these, study them, memorize them. You guys need to know these, and then restart the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about 2/3. 2/3 is 66.6666%, and that is 0.67 as a decimal. But what does that mean? That means for every 3 items, 2 of them, 2 out of every 3 items. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Say these are musicians. So if this person plays guitar, and this person plays guitar, and this person plays some other instrument, could be drums, trumpet, whatever. That would mean 2/3 of these musicians play guitar. Okay, so what if if we continued this pattern, 2 musicians out of 3 play guitar. If we have 6 musicians, that means 4 of them would be guitar players. What if we have 9 musicians? Well, if we had 9 musicians and we continue this pattern, 2/3, that means of these, for every 1, 2, 3 musicians, 2 of them play guitar. So that would mean 6 musicians play guitar. Let's do 12 musicians. So if we had 12 musicians, so out of every 3, 2 of them play guitar. We're continuing that pattern. That would mean we would have 8 musicians out of 12 play guitar. Okay, so let's talk about what 1/3 is. So we have 1/3 right here, 1/3 right here, and 1/3 right there. 1, 2, 3. 3/3 is the whole thing. So this whole group of musicians right here, 2/3 of them play guitar. So that would mean 1/3, 2/3. So how many total musicians play guitar? As you can see with this picture graph right here. So that would be a total of 8 guitar players. Alright, so here's your next problem. Corey has finished 3/4 of the 28 problems on his homework assignment. How many has Corey finished? So he's not completely done with the whole assignment, which is 28 problems. He's only done 3/4 or 3/4 of that. So let's go ahead and make a little algorithm. I'm going to start drawing stuff. So there's 4 parts to his homework. We know that because there's He's done 3 of them so far. He has to do all 4 to finish the whole thing. So let's just draw a box here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Say that's his whole homework assignment. Each one of these represents 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So in each fourth, how many problems are in that fourth? Well, let's start with the first one. 28. Well, we're going to take 28 and we're going to divide it evenly. That's important. Evenly into 4 parts. So 28, and we wanted to have it in 4 even parts. So 28 divided by 4 is going to be what? 7. So we're taking the whole amount, the whole assignment is 28 problems, whatever constitutes a whole, and we're dividing that by, well, the homework has 4 parts, well, that's the denominator. We're dividing that by the denominator. Put DE in for denominator. Okay? So when we do that, we get 7, because 28 divided by 4 is 7. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So 7 problems. 7 problems. 7 problems. 7 problems. Okay? Alright, so that's the first step. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Now, but he only did 3/4 of those. So 1/4 would be 7 problems. 2/4 would be 14 problems. 3/4 would be 21 problems. So that's actually your answer right there. So basically you're taking 3 or 7 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So he's done that, he's done that, he's done that. And he only has 1/4 to go, or 7 problems to go. So we're taking 7, which is the answer. So I'm going to say the answer, and we're going to multiply that by 3. So where do we get the 3? Well, that's the numerator. So we're going to put NUM for numerator. So take the answer, which is 7, multiply that by the numerator, which in this case, it could be something different in a different problem. In this case, it's 3, so that's going to be 21. Always circle your answers, okay, guys? Because I want you to show work. That's great, all this work. But circle your answer so I can look at it and know what your answer is. I don't know. You have a bunch of numbers and everywhere. It's going to be hard for me to determine which number is your answer. So always circle your answer. So the answer is 21 problems. Corey's finished 21 problems. Good job. Alright, I'm here with my son Israel. We have some stuffed animals we want to show you. Israel wants to introduce him. So go ahead and introduce Israel.
This is Eagle and a Bobcat. You know them. But you haven't seen Wolfie because I just got him. You've seen Lion, but Lion is in the washer, so we had to use Wolfie.
Alright, so these are our animals.
And this is me and my dad.
Okay. This is my awesome son Israel. Let me talk really quick, okay? So this is the story. We have $3, okay? And we want to divide our money between me, my son, and these 3 animals. Okay, so how many people and animals are there?
1, 2, 3. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3.
And then me and you, that's 4 or 5. Okay?
Yeah.
So 5. We want to divide this $3 evenly. That's a key word, evenly. So what if I took all the money, Israel? What do you think? Would that be even? No. Poor Israel, he's sad. It's not fair. So that's the point. We got to be fair. So we got to divide it into 3, no, not 3, 5 even parts. So let's go ahead and talk about that. All right, Israel, thanks. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, so how much money will the stuffed animals have? We have Wolfie, Eagle, and Bobcat. So there's 5 equal parts that we need to divide the money into, but 3 of those parts go to animals. How much money goes to the animals? So that would be 3 out of the total number of parts we're going to divide into would be 5, because me, Israel, and the 3 animals would be 5. So that would be 3/5 of the money, which is $3, goes to animals. Okay, almost ran out of room there. 3/5 of $3 goes to animals. So how much total money is going to go to the animals? We got to be fair. It's important to divide it evenly. So, step number 1, what we did last time is we took the whole amount, whether that be students, whether that be pizza, whatever it is, and we're going to multiply that by the denominator. So that's going to be $3. No, we're going to divide it by the denominator. Sorry about that. $3 divided by the denominator, which is 5. So 5 will go into 30 6 times. Bring your decimal point straight up. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract 0, 0. 5 will go into 0, 0 times. So each animal gets 60 cents. But we want to know what all the animals get. Actually, each animal, and then me and my son will also all get 60 cents. But we want to know step 2, which is you take the answer from the first step. I'll just put answer number 1, which would be 60 cents. And you're going to multiply that by the numerator, which in this case is 3. Okay? So you're going to take 60 cents, you're going to multiply that by 3. Okay? 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 6 is 18. The decimal point is 2 places over, so you're going to take the decimal point 2 places over there. So we have $1.80. So that's your answer. So go ahead and circle that. The animals get 3/5 of the money, or $1.80. Alright, next problem. What number is 3/4 of 100? So, let's break this out. Step number 1, you take the whole and you divide that by the denominator. Okay? So what up here is the whole? The whole is 100. So we're going to take 100, we're going to divide that by the denominator, which in this case is 4. Okay, so 4 will go into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract 2, bring down your 0. 20 will go in, 4 will go into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, so on and so forth. So the answer to step number 1 is 25. Step 2, you're now going to take your answer from number 1, from step number 1, and you're going to multiply that by the denominator, the numerator. I'm going to leave this up, so it would be a good idea to write this at the top of your paper. That way, because we're going to keep using this algorithm over and over again. Okay, so we're going to take the answer from step 1, which is 25, and you're going to multiply that by the numerator, which is 3. So this is going to come down, woo, 3. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 75. So, what is 3/4 of 100? 3/4 of 100 is 75. And this gets into percents. Anytime you're comparing something to percents, or it's as if there were 100 objects. So if there were 100 kids in this class, then 75 would be 3/4 of the kids. But whenever you're talking about 100, that becomes a special type of ratio called percent. It means you're comparing something to 100. Okay, so the next problem, what percent of a whole circle is 1/5? So let's start this out. Step number 1, we're taking the whole and dividing it by the denominator. It says of a whole circle. We don't know what a whole circle is, but we do see this sign right there. It says percent. In your book, I think it spells out the word percent. So whenever we're talking about percent, that means the whole is 100. So we're going to take 100 and we're going to divide that by the denominator, which in this case is 5. Okay, so 100 divided by 5 is going to be 20%. Okay, then that's step number 1. Step number 2 is you're going to take the answer from number 1, step number 1, whoop, and you're going to take that 20% and you're going to multiply by the numerator. In this case is 1. And you know that is 20%. So 20% is 1/5 of a whole circle. Alright, the next problem is similar. What percent of a whole circle is 3/5? We know what 1/5 is, now we want to find 3/5. So step number 1, you're going to take the whole, which is 100%, and divide that by the denominator, which is 5, and we found out that's 20%. Okay? Then we're going to take 20%, because that's the answer from number 1, 20%. We're on step 2, by the way. And we're going to multiply that by the numerator, which is 3. So 20 times 3 is going to be 60%. So the answer is 60% is 3/5 of a whole circle. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully equal groups and fractions are starting to come to you more easily. I will see you in class tomorrow. Have a good night.